Back to McCarthy Performance. Today I want to talk about sizing lifter bores and variants in the lifters. There's some lifters here. We'll go over them. And this is a product and it's called BAM. This one here, this is a crawler, high pressure pin oiling. And the reason why you can tell that, if you want to know, is because this band is that color. There's some oiling holes on the side. They're very small, but these oil the pins with bearings. Now these have no pins in them at all. That's DLC coated, and them run directly on the roller. These come high pressure pin oiling. You can get them with needles, and you can have them, well, at one time you could send these back and get them updated to bushing and they called that their Enduro series. These are Crane bulk. I used to buy these in a brown paper bag, basically. But they seem to be pretty good. And Crawler's no longer, or back up, Crane's no longer in business no more. So this is probably doesn't really matter anymore. But, you know, as for size-wise goes, Crane always seemed to be the smallest on diameter for the lifters. And I put a lot of Crane lifters and a lot of big blocks over the years, and we never measured them. We just drop them in. So, you know, it's kind of one of them deals. If you've got a new block, you definitely want to check this and realize that all these have different size lifter bodies. And you should go through the trouble of sizing them. But, you know, boy, back in the early 80s and that, nobody, at least I knew, was measuring stuff. But, you know, it's a real good idea to do it. Usually what I try to shoot for is anywhere from 1 7/10. That's kind of like where I want to be at. 2 thousandths is okay. On aluminum block, that I'd probably want to go down to, you know, 1 7/10 and try to stay there. You know, these are hydraulic rollers, and you know, this is just your plain ordinary GM lifter. And if if you're putting that in a new block, you know, you want to make sure you got your lifters, and hopefully the company that you buy your block from hasn't opened up the lifter bores too much. You know, because with these it isn't so important. But if you're running a conventional type cam with a conventional lifter, and God help you if you are, you probably want them to be around 1 5, 1 7/10. You don't want them clanging around in there at 2 thousandths. These, they don't matter a whole lot because the way the lifter is designed in the cam, it's just going to roll. So it's just up and down. When you get into a conventional type cam, solid or hydraulic, the lifter's got to turn. So some companies are saying that they'd rather have them a little bit on the tighter side. So if you check a lot of these older blocks and you're putting a conventional cam in it, you know, the number that they're shooting for, say 1 7/10, you're probably going to find out you're probably a little bit past that. So at that point, you know, do you really want to bush out a block and start bushing it? Okay, so there's the lifter. So we got to establish the lifter size by the manufacturer, the company that makes them. How do you go about honing them? Well, this is a one stone design mandrel, and I've used this mandrel, and I got the numbers from a guy that was using this in a shop that used to where he used to work at, and I got the numbers and I ordered all this stuff directly from what he let me borrow one day. Now, this is a single stone, so when the oil galleys intersect, it's going to clunk a little bit. And it does clunk. I won't lie about that. But the diamond stone, you can get away with it. It isn't the best. Of course, Sonnen makes lifter mandrels that are shoe, that are double stones, and they're supposed to go through a cylinder wall, oiling hole better. Um, but they're pretty expensive. I think they're like $320 each or something. Okay, so I had this. I had the diamond. The diamond is a K200 M95, and I use that on bronze, and I've used that on iron, and I haven't had a problem with either one. It works. It doesn't take a lot out, but you're probably not going to be taking a lot out. Most of the times I was taking 3/10 out most of the stuff that I had. So, I don't think you're going to get in a situation where you're going to take 1,000ths out. But anyways, and then this gets driven by this mandrel here, which is a smaller mandrel driver, and it's not bad. And this is a P180. And this one is made overseas. This covers 842 Chevrolet small block, big block, lifter, bore. Most Pontiacs, Buicks, all of them use that. And it goes up to 1 inch. So this is covering probably more of a range than you are going to get with the Sonnen stuff. And this has got multi-segments on it. It takes 4. So this should go through the intersection of a block a lot smoother than this one. Now, I have a block here. We're going to measure it after this. I don't need to take nothing out of it. I was hoping to try this out. They made this for me. They made it a little bit longer. This is as long as they could make it. The reason why I had them make it longer is because I do a lot of tall decks, and I was hoping to guide it a little bit, because with this mandrel here, you have to use this mandrel driver. And it's a lot of aluminum on it. It's not really heavy, but it is a little clunky. Obviously, you're not going to put this on a drill and swing it around your head. But I mean, if you grabbed a hold of the drill, this thing could probably beat you around your head. So, you want to be careful. This stuff is, might be hard to grab a hold of. Now, this is what I use to measure my bores with. This is a Sonnen. I got it off of eBay. It looks like brand new because I think it is brand new. I don't think anybody used it much. Probably a pretty sterile environment. It isn't all full of grease and that. And you can buy good Sonnen equipment on eBay. At least you could. So this gauge goes from 740, just under 3/4, and it goes just under 1 1/8 inches. So, and this is what I use to measure lifter bores with. Okay, so we're going to go measure the block now. Okay, so we checked the lifter bores. The shop is a little bit cool right now. These are going to be solid rollers. They're coming in at around 2 3/10, but I think they'll probably be around 2 1/10 when it's all said and done, and that's an acceptable range. I will not be honing this block out. This is a brand new block. This is something I always check. So I'm going to cut this video. It's going to be a little short one, so thank you for watching.